Hello everybody and welcome back to the Big Sew Along. This week I have two things to share with you and I'm really excited about both of them. One of them is a brand new dress, brand new pattern from a person a brand new designer for me because it's someone I've never heard of before, which I bought off of Etsy. I'll share that with you in just a second. And then the other one is a remake of something that I made a couple of weeks ago. So I'm really excited about both of them because I think they both turned out pretty well, really well. I hate to say really well because who knows. Anyway, I like them. Okay, so first up is the new dress that I tried. This is from, and I'm just going to say right up front that this is probably not the way to pronounce this name, but it is from somebody named Aura Guignard, Guignard. I will link it down below because that is probably not the way you say it. I'll link the pattern down below, but check her website or her Etsy shop because she does have a couple of other things in there that I thought were really cool. This one is called the Daisy Dress. And I'll try to get a picture up here for you. It is called PDF Daisy Dress Pattern Login Look Dress Boho Style Extra Small through 3X. And the description says, hello everyone, for this dress I call it Daisy Dress. Daisy Dress is a sweet romantic dress with ruffled lace as cute as daisy flowers. Sizes A4, AO, and US letter. That's for the paper to print on. Sizes extra small through 3X, US size 2 through 26, Euro size 32 through 56, bust 83 to 132 centimeters, finished bust 90 to 144 centimeters. She also gives you the arm circumference, which is nice. She suggests a lightweight fabric with width of 1.5 meters, colorful fabric for ribbon and hem strip, lace or thin fabric with 1.4 meters. And then she just gives a description of the pattern pieces and designed by Aura Atelier de Couture. She's from Switzerland. Anyways, her description is pretty inclusive if you need to know like how much fabric to get or what exactly the sizes are, or all that stuff. She does a pretty good description there. The only thing I will say about this pattern that is not like 100% positive, but I wouldn't really count this as a negative, is I don't believe that this pattern designer's first language is English. So although the pattern is written in English, I feel like the instructions are a little weak. However, if you've sewn anything before, you don't really need them. I mean, this is a really simple dress. Now, you may think from looking at this first picture that this looks like your typical raglan style drawstring or gathered neckline, A-line kind of dress. And it is, except that she has included this side panel. So it's a front and back, a side panel on each side, obviously, and sleeves. On the side panel, she has included a clever little pocket, which I thought was, well, clever. And I really liked it. So, I made this dress in a really lightweight wool gauze, but it's not like a heavy, scratchy wool. Obviously, I just said it's lightweight. It's like super sheer, lightweight wool gauze. It's got a beautiful drape to it. The dress calls for 2 ruffles at the bottom. I believe in her original pattern, I think one of those is lace. You can obviously use whatever you want. I only used 1 ruffle because I think my dress, the circumference at the hem was 80 inches, so my ruffle was 160 inches, and that was just like a whole lot of ruffling for me. So I did it once, and I was like, that's enough. I love a good ruffle, but I was not up for doing that twice. Anyway, I also used a little remnant of silk georgette that I had in a contrast for my hemband and also for the necktie. This dress has a raglan neckline, and then it has a band that is just sewn to the raglan neckline. This right here is the band, and folded over, and then you use that for the casing for your tie, which then gets like gathered up, obviously, like that, right? Well, this is probably about 1.5 inches wide, the casing, and my ribbon was flopping around too much, so I just sewed an additional row of stitching at the top so that it gathers more, and then when you gather it up, it looks like you have a little bit of a ruffle on the top there. Also, this band is actually open here at the center front. You just hem those front edges and fold them over and use the opening for where your drawstring comes out. Again, I didn't really like that, so I stitched mine together here just at the very top. You can kind of see where it's still open here, which is fine. And you can see on the back, that's the opening. So I just stitched it together right at the very top to keep it from pulling open. You could easily, instead of doing this band on top, you could just put a buttonhole in the center front, which would be like right here, and then put a facing on, so it would be like that. It's an easy thing to play around with. I will definitely make this again. I love it, and I thought it was really cute. It went together really easily. I think on this, let me look here really quickly. I'm pretty sure I made a size medium in this, and the size was fine. You'll see in the pictures of me in this dress how it fits. That's the size that coordinated with my measurements, and that was perfectly fine. I have no issues with the size or with the way it went together or anything like that. Just FYI, it does have only 1/2 inch seam allowances, which is also totally fine. I didn't realize it had 1/2 inch seam allowances until after I cut it out, and I really was going to do French seams on this particular fabric just because it's very thin and sort of, it's gauzy because it's wool gauze. So it's a pretty loose weave, and French seams would have been better. What I ended up doing was sewing my seams, serging them together, and then pressing them to one side and stitching them down. And that seemed to work just fine. I feel like the seams are stable and they're going to be absolutely fine. And anyway, the end result is that I really love this dress. And I think I'll make it again. I might make it a little shorter to be like a tunic length. I may make it a little bit longer. You'll see in these pictures, it's like comes right at my knee, which is probably fine, but not really my favorite thing. I might also just wear it with pants, which I do all the time. Who knows? I love this dress. I highly recommend it. She has a couple of other patterns on here that look really interesting. One is called the rainbow dress, and she does have a pair of harem pants. I'm tempted, but I am not going to buy the pants because there is no way I can justify buying another pant pattern ever, probably. I have so many. But the rainbow dress does look really cute, and it also has an incorporated pocket, much like this, and I think that looks like it could be really fun, so I might try that one next. So that's it for my brand new make. Now for my remake. I'm kind of bummed about this part. I made the Jaqueline slip a few weeks ago. I don't know if you guys remember. It's red, and I had it underneath a GG top. I think I had it under my GG top. Anyways, it was a red Jaqueline slip dress. I said at the time I didn't know if I should shorten it or what I should do with it, blah, blah, blah. I apparently hated it so much that I deleted every picture I have of it, which is such a bummer because now I think it is so cute and I thought it would be a really good before and after, but of course I have no before for you. So anyways, this is a remake of the Jaqueline dress and slip, and if you remember, it was a lightweight shirting cotton, probably. It has a little bit of spandex in it. I'm pretty sure I made a size medium in this, and I was really not fond of the result. However, I got this idea that I would like to ruche it up and cut it off and do all kinds of other stuff. So in this little clip here, I'm just going to show you what I did. Okay, so this is our Jaqueline slip that we already have put together, and all I've done so far is I cut off the bottom. And if you remember, I had this whole thing bound in bias tape, so I literally just cut it off. And on the Jaqueline, these two edges here come down like into points, so I've really just sort of evened that whole thing out. It's not quite even. I actually still wanted it to be a little bit longer on the sides. I may actually have cut off a little more than I wanted, but on the pattern, it looks like this. That's our pattern for the bottom. And I literally just cut it like this. So sort of just evened that out a little bit. Now, the other thing I've done is I have made, I don't know if you can see it because it's kind of faint, but right here, I've made a chalk mark around my waistline, and I put one chalk mark in the center front and in the center back of my dress at that waistline. Now what I'm going to do is, the distance between my side and my center is 12 inches, so starting at about 6 inches, so about halfway between the center front and the side. I'm just going to make a little mark here and a little mark here. And I am just going to sort of freehand a chalk line, and I'm going to make it a little bit curvy. I'm going to go down and maybe over this way. I need to get a different piece of chalk. I'm going to start right here at this mark, and I'm just going to do like a freehand sort of, oh my God, there we go. I don't want it to be straight. I'm going to have it be a little bit curvy. But not crazy. And I want it to end sort of, not totally straight, but a little bit more straight right here at the bottom, so it doesn't cause problems when we go to rehem this. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Sort of maybe mirror that curve. Okay, then on my side seam, instead of doing a curve on the side seam, I think I'm just going to use this side seam and do this straight on both sides. Then we're going to do the same thing on the back. There we go. Okay, now all I'm going to do is along each of these chalk lines and also along my side seam lines, I'm going to run 2 rows of basting stitches, one on either side, and I want them to be about 1/2 inch apart. So a row here all along this edge, and then again on this side about 1/2 inch away from the first one. I'm going to do that 6 times. So 1, 2 on the front, 2 on the back, and 1 on each side. The 2 on the sides on mine are going to be straight, but of course you can make them any way you want. Okay, so now all I'm going to do is go around and ruche up each of these sections that we have double stitching in. I'm going to do that on all 6. I'm just securing them in place with pins for the moment. Okay, and I'm just going to keep, that's 3 done. I'm going to do 3 more. And then I am just going to go, I'm going to very carefully hold this up in front of the mirror and see if I like the length. I'm trying to keep all of my ruched pieces roughly the same length, but of course you can do it any way you want. It could be really cool to have some lower and some higher. So I'm actually going to just finish these and then go attempt to try this on or hold it up in front of the mirror and make sure that I like all of these pieces before we go any further. Okay, now I have all of my ruching in a place that I'm pretty happy with it. All I'm going to do is go over each one of my basing rows. So 2 times on each section. So I guess that'll be 12 rows of stitching. I'm just going to go over each one with a regular stitch, and I'm going to be really sure that I do a nice solid tack at the top and the bottom to hold all my ruching in place. And I'm just going to be really careful as I go to make sure that the ruching sort of stays as it is and doesn't get pushed out of place too much. Okay, so that's what I did in terms of like the ruching and stuff. The only other thing I did to this was I added 2 ruffles. One in the red cotton that the slip is made out of, and one in a remnant of the red rayon challis plaid that I used for my elope pants also a couple of weeks ago. Actually, I think those pants were the same day that I made this slip originally, and again, no pictures of that. So anyway, I'm really happy with the end result of this. This is now a dress I will wear probably a lot. I'll show you some pictures here of me in this, and then at the end you can look at the clip of me dancing around in it. I will probably wear it like more like that with a sweater, either this one or another one or whatever. In the summertime I could wear it just as is. But anyways, I love it now. I'm really happy with it, and I'm glad that I took the time to remake it. Although I will say I had a lot of ruffling going on this week, and that was like so much ruffling time. A friend of mine suggested using my ruffler foot or my gathering foot. I have both. I've never really been able to figure out the ruffling foot, and I mean, I tried it a few times and then I just threw it back in its box and was like, forget it. And then I got this new set of sewing machine feet over the summer, and one of them it's not really a ruffling foot, it's more of a gathering foot. So I did try that. I wasn't really all that excited about that either. I gotta be honest with you, of all the things I've tried it on the serger. I just I saw something on another YouTuber had something about using your serger to do a ruffle, and that was okay too. To be honest with you, I like the way they look best when I just do 2 rows of stitching and gather them up. Or when you do the Tina Gibbons way, where you just sort of like fold it over as you go. Anyways, a lot of ruffling this week, but altogether I'm very happy with my makes. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you have, please hit subscribe, hit like. Thanks so much, guys. We'll see you next week.